you're doing something that I think about sometimes. Do you see yourself as is it my money, or is it I'm just a channeler of abundance of money?
So it's good you brought that up. I teach this a lot to our students where it's like, what's the alternate name for money?
Abundance.
Well, no, technically, what do we call money? Like the government, what do they call it?
Debt. I mean,
Currency.
Currency. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I'm
Sorry, I went completely blank there.
So currency.
I'm on the spot. Damn it.
So currency. Okay, currency comes from what? A current. What's a current? Water.
Oh.
Water is flowing in and out, in and out. It's moving constantly.
Yeah.
If you, I live in Austin, and if you look at the Lady Bird Lake River, it is completely disgusting when it is not moving. It's stagnant. It's green. It looks horrific. But when the water's flowing, it looks beautiful. It's nice and clear. And when money's stagnant, if you're holding it like a hostage, it's like, just let it go. Let it go. It'll come back. Push it out. It'll come back. Like in and out. That's how I view money. It's like, it's everybody's money. It's my money, your money, his.
Well, if we don't all work together, then the money dies, like you said, right? Like that's
how economies literally die. It's like it has to trade. It's got to move hands. You can't hold it.
Yeah, it's like the person who sticks all their money under a mattress and they're losing value every year.
Right.
Yeah.
And even like over investing, it's like, yeah, you could invest and save. Like that's fine. There's a place to do that. But it's like, well, there's also a value to like, I like watches and stuff like that. So it's like, well, I know if I buy this, the guy I bought it from gets a commission. That helps him and his wife, and that helps them, and I get to enjoy it. And then it's a spinning wheel. It's like there's a wheel spinning of that. Of like, I don't view it as like, oh, I wasted money. It's like, no, that guy got a commission. He made X amount of money on this. That helped him. And then he can go do it again. And then he feels more confident and can sell more people. Then it starts the cycle. Yeah. And that helps the jewelry store. Then that helps the city. And then it's like, I just view everything like that.
Yeah, and I do too. I feel like there's something weird with taxes. Like a lot of people who are really broke think tax the billionaires, tax the millionaires. And I'm like, they don't pay enough in taxes. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if you think about it, if I own a company that employs 100 people, 1,000 people, each one of them is paying taxes, and I'm paying each one of them. If anybody should be trusted with the money to go pay more taxes to create jobs, it's probably the rich people.
Right.
Because they're out there actually stimulating the economy. Right. They're actually providing value to people. It's a weird mind thing that you start saying, I'm going to take all their money away and decide how it's going to be used, and then they have to fire all these people.
Right.
And they just do. They're like, okay, we'll just readjust, you know. So I think that abundance mentality is really interesting because I also feel the same way.
Because I didn't used to. Lifestyle of like, okay, so this is like a good like way to I viewed money is like, okay, there's a lot of people that think about retirement. I want to retire. I want to get this number, then I'm out. And then I'm like, that number to live, if you take into account inflation, cost of living, lifestyle, what you'd want to do, depending on what maybe family stuff, health stuff comes up in the future. It's like, it could be like $100 million I would need to like have to like not worry. Cause I'm like, well, if you spend like 500 million a year over the course of 70 years, it's like, you think things are going to get cheaper? No, it's only going up. So it's like that 500K you could spend now is going to be 1.5 million in 40 years or maybe more, who knows? So it's like, okay, don't worry about holding on to this money. Create ways to make money. So you have to do things of service. You have to let the currency flow in and out with your time, your effort, your ideas, your strategies, your generosity. Like it all has to move back and forth for you to like keep making money and not just like sitting on like, yeah, there's time to like make some money and chill for like maybe a year, but like not forever.
Do you
not be stagnant?
When you invest money, do you ever find yourself like early investors when they invest? Let's say crypto is the perfect example because it's so volatile. But you put money into a coin or you put money into a stock or into a business and it tanks, it goes down. How do you react to that? How do you react to like I put money in a coin not too long ago that went, a small cap coin that went down to, I had 20 some thousand in there, low 20s, 21, 22, 23. And then suddenly one of the whales pulled all his money out and ran.
And then bang.
And bang, I was at 1,500 overnight. Like literally it went like this. And I watched it and I was like, and I saw people pulling their money out, losing their minds, FOMOing, freaking out. And I'm like, I'm just going to leave it in. I'm going to see what it does. You know, and it hasn't quite come back yet. It starts to, and then it comes back. But they haven't killed it. They keep saying they're going to fix it. And I'm just gonna let him ride, and see what happens here. It could come back and be but
Yeah.
what's your reaction to stuff like that?
That I wrote it off the minute I put it anywhere. The minute the money comes in, it's earmarked to go out. The second it comes in.
How many times have you done something like that and it went backwards only to come back better than before?
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. Even if I lose a bunch of money that ended up we've done some partnerships in the past where it cost us a ton of money to get out of the contract and all this stuff. It ended up being a huge pain in the ass. Huge. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Pain in my ass. So glad it happened. I'm like, best thing ever. It's like in the moment, it's not at all. It's really stressful and it's infuriating. But if you get a little bit of distance and a little perspective, it's like, oh, this is like, I love to live by like what's next is always better.
Yeah.
Just like a simple phrase of like to keep your, I think it's from Joe Dispenza. It says that, or no, Tony Robbins said that, but Joe Dispenza has this really cool line where it's like, what if or paraphrasing, what if the worst thing in your life is actually the best thing in your life? What if this like horrific divorce is like the best thing? Cause then, well, you could meet someone else. It's like, or this failed business, but you could start a new one. But what about like, oh, this health issue, but then you can get healthy.
Yeah.
You have a chance to get healthy.
All my crashes have led to more success afterwards.
Yep, I think every person is like
success,
that.
yeah.
I don't hear about the ones that don't.
I think not. Yeah, I think it's not every person's like that. If the person just wallows in it, they get stuck, and
you don't hear about them.
Yeah, they just sit in their apartment. They sit in their, oh well, I give up. I'm just going to live in a mobile home the rest of my life. That's a whole different person.
Yeah,
but that's
like an apathy state. Like you mentioned, like the Hawkins scale. Like that's like that apathy, or like that, like the woe is me. Guilt, like victim mentality.
But if you stay encouraged, it's going to come back every time. It may not come back like you want. But it will come back, and it's going to come back in some form of usually greater.
And it won't come back how you expect. Yeah. It never does. This is like, again, it's interesting. It's easy because I'm dating again for the first time in a while, and it was like, oh, interesting how like this led to meeting this person that's really great, and it's like, I would have never connected the dots. Like I couldn't have possibly drawn this up on a whiteboard. Impossible. And it's like, oh, that like bad thing, good thing, bad thing, good thing, stressful thing, amazing thing. And that like that tether, that back and forth is like, that's like magical.
Yeah. The tension seeks resolution, and that's where your growth is in the resolution of that tension.
Yeah. But as you were saying though, it doesn't have to be like, I found as you get a little bit more experience with overcoming things, each one becomes less chaotic.
Yeah.
Like when I was 22, something going wrong was like a big deal. Now it's a big deal for 30 minutes or even less, sometimes a few seconds. I'm like, okay, is what it is, on to the next. And like, that's a way of, you can train yourself to like react less and less and less and less and less. And as you have more perspective and things are bigger, it's like, if you're running $100 million a year company, what's losing $1 million? But if you're running $1 million company, losing $1 million is a big deal. You're like, whoa. So you work up the steps, each thing you get, whether it's in health, relationships, business, finances, just your own internal state. Like you just level up bit by bit.